we're in front of PureSoft.
Sure.
As long as we're able to set up here, talk about that. Talk about that line.
PureSoft Cashmere was our launch of the what I'll call the ultra soft fiber category. We launched that at Surfaces this year. Phenomenal reception. The samples are going out as we speak on the and customers came in and said, you know, and there's all kind of different customers and different perceptions of what they feel. But ours, what we heard back more than anything is yours has a pillowy kind of soft. So it's soft, but it still has hand. Some others feel very soft if you rub your hand across it, but yours, when you sink your hands into it, it feels like a pillow. And I'm not, when you're describing sensations, it's very difficult. But so ours is a little different feeling than the others, and from what we've been able to see so far, is people love that feel, and that the finish and the surface we get on our fiber is very, very clean. So it appears like that's going to be a very good introduction for us based on the initial orders we've had on it.
And consumers, once they put their hand on the ultra soft, that's something that they really, really like.
If you're not a carpet, and you know you've been around it a long time, Dave, but you know we'll rub carpets, and you have to almost be kind of, they call it trained hands. Anybody can rub a regular carpet and then any of the ultra softs, and you can tell the dramatic difference. And I think it's actually going to help soft floor covering, because we say soft floor covering, but if it's really, really soft, then that perception is going to be like, you know what, this is so good, I want this in my bedroom. You know, I'm not even going to think about another flooring for this part of my house. So I actually think it's going to help us.
So what's happened, I mean, I'm not sure where carpet stands in terms of market share versus hard surface. I don't think it's gaining, but if it is, it's not much.
No, I would not say it's gaining. I would say that I think the overall flooring is going to grow. Carpet might continue to either hold its share or lose a little, but there's still going to be a lot of growth in carpet because I think the overall pie is going to grow.
What I was getting at really was, obviously, polyester, solution-dyed polyester, is doing really well at retail.
Yes, absolutely.
And that's because consumers come in and they see the soft and the price perhaps and the looks or whatever, and they like that. This obviously is coming out of nylon ties.
Well, I would say all fibers, I guess, compete against each other to some degree. I would say nylon's growth has probably slowed. There hasn't been as much growth in nylon. Polypropylene is probably a fiber that has lost probably the most market share over the last 12 months. And the old Berber category, particularly polypropylene Berbers, are very, very harsh to touch, which once again just confirms that consumers are not looking for harsh carpet. If you've got a Berber that feels kind of rough on your hands, nowadays that's probably the slowest or the fastest shrinking category in carpet today.
I see. Now, probably the smartest move in this whole operation was to cast your lot with polyester. I mean, that's the core successful thought here. There's lots of moving parts when we're talking about where the price of raw materials, resins, are going to go.
Sure.
Petroleum, benzene, and all the other products. And Mr. Shaw, in starting this, saw that the factors that go into polyester were more attractive, I guess would be the words, than some of the other factors in, say, nylon. Talk about those and where you see that going long term.
If you look at the worldwide supply of those polymers, let's say, and these are rough numbers, let's say polyester is going to be around 80 billion pounds worldwide. Nylon, including 6 and 6/6, is probably much more in the 14 range, and some of that's a lot of that's overseas, so it's kind of hard to put final on. But you're still looking at a 6-to-1 ratio. So the larger the volume, the more stable you're probably going to be. Now, everything is raw material based and oil based, so there's going to be, certainly when oil goes up, their raw material increases, but the larger volume of that polyester system is probably going to mean that it's a more stable and a little better value over time. And traditionally, polyester is a better value on the polymer side versus nylon. and we don't see anything that's going to change those dynamics over the next 5 years.
Things that would perhaps affect the prices in a negative way, meaning they would be higher.
We see that, of course, if oil's going to go up, then they're all going to go up, but they'll go up in a way that polyester is still going to be of value compared to nylon. So much of nylon is going into automotive today and other uses for nylon resins that puts a demand pull for nylon that polyester really doesn't have. And with the automotive worldwide coming back, I think that demand pull for nylon has been pretty strong in the last several years, and we really don't see that letting up any.
I see. Lots of products in here.
A lot of people think we make 10 products and it's everything that we make is rolled, so there's a lot of misconception. We have a very wide range of products through our Dreamweaver line, and when customers come in and see what we have to offer, we hear more often than not, gosh, I had no idea your line was this extensive.
When I walked in here, because the whole place, and we'll get a shot of this later, is lined.
Yeah.
You guys talk about the various bases you touch with all the products.
Dreamweaver offers a full range of retail line, and we really offer it in two collections. One collection is a wing card that has product anywhere from introductory products to as high as 70, 80 ounces. So it's a full range. And then we have a pure soft cashmere display that I'm sitting in front of, and that is just ultra soft products. Gotten great reaction to that from the retailers, because now instead of having to fish through a sea of a bunch of products to get to that ultra soft, they can just focus right there, and a consumer can come in and make an easy selection of which of those products he or she would like to have.
Well, I was in your stand at Surfaces, and it was pretty crowded. So it would seem like most retailers in this business have some place on their floor where this will fit.
Yeah, we were a pretty busy space, and we had a lot of new customers there that we had not been doing business with, as well as a lot of the guys coming in that wanted to see our new. There have been a lot of rumors about our soft introductions, and a lot of people wanted to see that. So we were pretty, even though we increased the size of the space from last year, we stayed pretty crowded, which is certainly a blessing. Not complaining about that.
No, I see. Well, I can remember being there, and again, I was taken aback a bit by the amount of products in here. Do you see more products on down the road?
Absolutely. As we continue to grow our capacity, we're not planning on stopping introductions, and I said there's a whole product development team that we have, and Melvin heads that team up, and they're already working on stuff for later this year and into next year. So there's a lot of new and exciting things coming.
It seems like the multifamily sector is still doing well from what I can read.
And Melvin does products for engineered floors as well. So he's company-wide, and he's actually got 2 or 3, which we'll come out with later in the year, new combinations of yarns and colors for the multifamily segment that I think is just as exciting on that side of the fence. So for us, innovation is not limited to one division, and we want to make sure that everything stays fresh, because that's one of the things that is probably one of our advantages is all of our products. And we don't have a product in our line that's less than 3 years old. And there's no one else that can say that, because everybody else has got legacy products, and we understand that. But we know we've got to keep that freshness in our line all the time.
You know, we say multifamily too, and I guess there were so many single-family homes that were bought up and converted into rental units that I suspect that's something that you guys have been servicing.
We service not just multifamily, we do service single family. We have builders that we have programs with. So we're really now at our size is we're probably in every segment of the business, with the exception of commercial. We don't have really any commercial divisions, although we do have some loop pile products that would be more of a Main Street variety. We are not in what I call the specified commercial at all.
I see. Not yet anyway. It seems like you've got your hands full. You've got 2 new plants coming up here. Talk about the vision. This is the last question.
Sure.
Maybe it's the last question. Going down the road, 5, 10 years down the road, you've been growing at a really rapid clip. It doesn't look like you have any plans to change any of that from what you just said. Talk about what you see going down the road 5, 10 years and beyond on that road.
Well, when you start getting into 5 and 10-year projections, there's a lot of things that can change. We think we can see really clearly out for 2 years. And then your vision gets a little less clear as you move into 5. We've just made a 5-year commitment, which we feel pretty comfortable with. We see that carpet is going to continue to probably grow in size as an industry. Now, we're not going to take share. We're probably more going to hold it. But when you look at family formations in the United States and the lack of construction over the last 4 to 5 years, we think there's a tremendous opportunity in the carpet industry for the next 4 to 5 years. We're going to continue to add capacity. We're going to continue to make the decisions to where we can, if a customer wants to buy additional product from us, we can say, be glad to have that order and let's keep going. So we're not planning to stop growing, but we're always going to make sure that we stay consistent to our core values of where we started the business, which is, simplified manufacturing models, streamlined, not a lot of, there's no plans. There will never, I don't say never, but there's no plans that I'm aware of to ever get into anything other than solution dyed carpet, because it's kind of the horse that brought us here, and we're going to keep moving that. We think we can expand the color lines of solution dyed, and with yarn combinations, there's not going to really be a limit to where solution dyed carpets can't satisfy 95% of the demand of the consumers in the United States. So we see a lot of growth, which means we have to spend a lot of time in strategic planning and making sure we maintain having the right team in place to handle the growth that we have. Because growing pains are fun to have, but they're still pains. And it is a lot easier and more fun to grow a business than it is to shrink it. And I've had to do both in my career. But you have to plan and make sure neither one of those things washes over you.
It looks to me like you made a whole lot of right decisions.
I can't take credit for a lot of the decisions that are made here, but as a team, we have made a lot of the right decisions.
Very good. I appreciate you talking to me today, and I'm really impressed with the operation and all these products that are around this room. Congratulations.
Dave, it's always good seeing you, and we love having you down here. It's good to see you, too.
Pleasure. Thank you. We've been talking with James Lesslie. He is assistant to the chairman at Engineered Floors. This is Talk Floor TV.